Okay, it's March 24th, 2015. This is going to be a short piece on the possibility of some evidence suggesting that a large hairy hominid is alive and well, hiding in the forests of the United Kingdom. I'm not going to give away the location where I am because I've been researching this area for the last year, and it's getting very interesting. I'm only going to give you a short piece of one particular location which is very interesting. It was the one that caught my interest straight away. There's stuff here that is very unusual, and I've been looking for further evidence to support that this is not any type of human behaviour, and I think I'm putting the pieces together to suggest that, but at the moment hard evidence is thin on the ground, but anecdotal evidence is here, and I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of some of the reasons for this. You can see I'm in dense woodland. In the summer it is pretty much impossible to get in here. During the winter, yeah, you can venture in here using some of the deer paths that crisscross this region, but I can't for a single reason think that people will actually do that unless they had some sort of reason like foraging for forest foods, but I've not yet seen anyone in this area, and trail cameras have not picked up anyone, but it's picked up loads of deer and a couple of strange instances, but I'll leave that for the time being. Anyway, one of the things that we do have a hell of a lot here are these tree snaps that are around about 3 foot tall. Now, they're associated with no particular markings suggesting that it's deer behaviour, but you do get a few marks around the break themselves. Now, okay, one or two I'll discount it on the basis of it being purely deer activity, and I've not seen any reference to this being deer, apart from one particular reference that suggested it was deer, but it had loads of markings, like antler markings on the base. Only about 1% of these actually have markings around the base to suggest that it's in combination with the deer activity. So I'm going to take you through. No, I've not done any of these. These are things that have been here for quite some time. Right, here we've got just moving along this sort of deer path. We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3, we've got 4, we've got 5, we've got 6. Now these are all around about waist height, chest height, but you do get them at 5 foot, even 6 foot tall. So these are just sapling breaks. Okay, and moving along here we've got another one, we've got another one. Now these are show no reference to markings, antler markings. We've got one more here, we've got one there. As I say, it's not just these that are a bit bizarre. Right, we've got one here. These all look around about six months to a year old, so it's all quite recent activity, and I've seen some that have happened in the last, well, within weeks of me actually being here. Okay, going into the central area of site 1. I've had 2 trees that have been, I have to suggest that they're being pushed over, because one was across a path, surprise surprise, which is right next to this particular area that I'm studying, and the other one was right in the heart of this particular location I'm actually studying, and the roots are that solid. There's another one. The roots are that solid that it was not wind that did it. Right, here we go. Here's one of the nice examples I've got here. A nice tree arch. It's about 6 foot tall. There's also another tree arch here that is been bent over there, down there, and it's had lots of tree branches and the likes being placed on top. So let's go through the tree arch. Let's see what we've got. We've got something down there, or it's another arch. Now some of these can be natural, of course, and I've discounted a number of them, like that one there. I wouldn't like to guess at that one. But some of them just defy logic. I've got one here, one there, and if you look at this bit here, this tree has been bent up there and it's been broken there, so quite odd. Right, let's move through here. This is the gifting area that I refer to, where I leave apples every time I come here, and a few other gifts. Right, this one here is quite major. It starts up there, comes around here, it's bent all the way down there. Now it's about 8 foot tall. I can't even reach it up there. Now, something I noticed today, first time, and I've been coming to this site for, as I say, for a year. You can see this one over here is also bent down there and is lodged under there. There's something else I saw as well today that was first. Up there you've got a sort of a twist, and I can't see it now. There was another twist up here somewhere. Right, this is something that just defies logic as well. See this tree that's quite happily growing up here? It's been snapped, bent over, and see the branch there, or sapling, is growing up over than that. So there's no way on earth that was actually responsible for taking that down, but it's been bent under there and that's been folded over the top, so you've got it being held down. Let's go on over here. This is the area I do the gifting. Left a flower and a marble today. Plus I'm going to put apples up on a tree because hanging from the tree because of the birds that are nicking all the apples of late. I now understand. Right, I've seen quite a few of these. Now I don't know if this is a feature that you get in the US, but Y-shaped branches being leant up against trees. I've had about 5 of these now, and 1 or 2 I'd say, yeah, that could just be coincidental, but big trees, and they just leant up against the tree. Found little wigwam structures that have been leant up against trees, and big twist offs. Here's something. Don't see. I've seen a few of these, but see that tree there, that branch there, has been bent and is now growing downwards. I found 3 of these just in this area. Can't remember where they all are, but trust me, there was three of them. I'll take you to a really awesome tree structure that I have to discount as human behaviour. I mean, it's possible, but I'm going to discount it as human behaviour because it doesn't quite add up. And also, this is what I could refer to as site 1, but I've got three sites dotted around the wood. This one I come to all the time because there's still so much more to understand about this particular site. Very odd goings on here. Right, I think I'm nearly there. You see, who in their right mind is going to come wandering through here? I mean, it's a very big wood, so you've got loads of paths to follow along. You don't need to go wandering off path unless you really want to have some particular reason for doing so, which I do, but other people wouldn't. Okay, this is the one I want to show you. It's a massive multiple tree arch. Massive. The thickness of the trees are about 3 inches, 3.5 inches thick. They've been twisted down there. That one up there has been snapped and has broken and comes all the way down here. Now, are you thinking I've actually done this in the last 12 months just to make a point of interest, when I think you have to forget about that, because if you can look up here, look how straight these are growing. These have been growing here for, I would imagine, about 6 years, 5-6 years. So this must have happened about 5 years ago, and since then those have all shot up, going upwards. Yeah, we got these snaps here as well. That one there, that's broken off. There's another one there that was attached to there, but I broke it off on a previous visit. The way in which that this particular set of tree arches is held down, I think you might be able to relate to this in the States. See here, you've got a really thick 2.5-3 inch tree that's been broken off. I think it's been twisted as well to some extent to make that shattering effect of the tree fibres. It's around about just over knee high, thigh high, so 2.5 foot tall, and it's snapped, bent over down there, and it's holding the tree branches down there. Both of those snapped bent over, held down. And you've got other branches here. See all these branches that are being used to hold it down. Now this particular one, the big one, snapped, and it's been bent all the way around there. The fact is, we've got loads of branches thrown down here as well. As a point of reference, about 2 weeks ago I found a very interesting stick that was thrown down here, just here, completely out of place. It was solid bit of wood that had been cut, so it had nothing to do with this area. It was reasonably fresh, you know, within the last 12 months, so it was quite solid, thick, and clearly it showed wear that had been used for quite some time. It was about chest height, so about 5 foot tall stick. It snapped at one end, creating a sort of a pointish part to it, and the other end was had the bark taken off the base section, and it was just being thrown down there. When I picked it up, I thought, wow, this is interesting. This to me looked just like a wood knocking stick, if ever I saw one. And only when I took it back to have a closer look at site one, I was going to experiment using it, test it, see if it worked. And I noticed that it had been fractured. It actually had something of an impact breakage about halfway up the length of the branch. So what caused that? And who came through here? Which, might I add, 2 weeks prior to that, I did a video of this particular area, and that particular tree branch was not there. So it had to be left here at the end of February, discarded. During those 2 weeks, it was during those 2 weeks that we had 2 trees that were pushed over down here, and also 1 fresh sapling break. And who's going to be coming through here at the end of February? I just don't buy it. So very interesting. I've got nothing to confirm here, because I'm still looking out for the conclusive evidence, but it was very, very interesting anecdotal evidence to suggest that there's something odd going on here that is not human behaviour. But I'm going to persevere, carry on, and hopefully one day I'll find something a bit more conclusive. But it's just been a short piece just to say what's going on here in the United Kingdom. That I know finding Bigfoot probably felt it quite funny that they should be here, following up on eyewitness reports. By the way, there's an eyewitness report from a very, very respectable source that was only 15 miles from here, about 10 years ago. So I think maybe we should have a bit more open mind about the possibility that these creatures are here still. I think back in the medieval period, I think it was common knowledge that these things did exist, because you've got loads of manuscripts and carvings and the likes to suggest that these hairy people, I think you have to refer to them as people, because they are very smart people that have adopted a lifestyle living in the wild. Anyway, I suspect that they are here, but as yet I've got nothing to confirm conclusively yet. I found some hair that has got scaling patterns very similar to alleged Bigfoot hair that has been reported in the States, but it's not quite the same though. It's only about 5 centimeters long and black, so not quite guard hair but potential underfur. Anyway, that's just been my brief video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do have any information regarding these things, because there's a hell of a lot of them, and they're happening here in the winter when nobody will be coming through here, and I suspect it's not deer activity, because they're not associated with any deer antler scrapings or anything like that. There's so many of them, and if it was a common feature for deer activity, then I would have thought that there'll be a bit more information on the internet about this. And certainly the Forestry Commission here in the UK, in their handbook about deer damage, made no reference to this sort of behaviour at all. But antler scrapings, yeah, common, very, very indicative of deer. But these are very different. There's so many of them, and associated with these tree arches, which, you know, you have to beg the question: are people doing this? If people are doing this, why the hell are they doing it in the middle of a forest where nobody's going to see it? So I'm keeping an open mind, but I've got a good reason to come back here all the time and carry on the search. Okay, well, thanks again for watching, and I'll sign out here.